दादा ओडिया बुझी पारिबे भलो भाबरे दादा मोर क्वेश्चन आपन को होची जे केबे आपन डिस्कवर कले जे इंडियन मीडिया रे भलो एडिटर होई रहिबा आ संभवपर नहे
Hello.
When did you realize?
Am I audible?
Yes.
The day I lost my job.
Before that, you were convinced that Indian media is good.
No. See, we have grown up with the fact that editors lose jobs. Like we have heard stories. Editor lunch pai jaichonti. By the time he came back from lunch, he was fired. So emti jabu heichi. India is present Hindustan. You name them. Big time editors have lost their jobs. But I thought that I was too clever, so I'll escape the guillotine. But it was unfortunate, my bad luck. But things have gone infinitely worse.
It's not audible. It's not audible. Clear.
So things are getting bad. Rajdeep has been lucky. He has the backing of India Today. I spent 12 years in India Today. That is where I learnt my journalism. So that was a great organization to work with. So whatever we might say about India Today, he has an utility for India Today now because he is the face. He is the anti-India face of India Today. Let's face it. Okay, so there is a TRP for that as well. Okay, so maybe that helps him and that helps him to survive. I wasn't lucky that way. So that is how it is, Indian media. And you keep speaking, speak truth to power. Like even with my small little, good Odia podcast. I've been losing friends every day.
And you don't care?
Oh, I should care. Or like something like I'm speaking truth to power. That's my job. More koibar kotha. Apan ragi chonti, gali dou chonti, diontu. It's all the best to you. I don't care. Beyond the point, I don't care.
तो आपण प्रेज बेसी करंती ना बेसी क्रिटिसाइज करंती आपण भाबंती ने कि
No, I'll be very honest. I have a lot of fans, a lot of praises, yes, but very, very caustic criticism also at a personal level. Like with my family, even my daughter is not spared. That's hurtful, but that's the price I'm ready to pay. I'll keep, as Rajdeep says, more to party chalu thibo.
टिके ओडिशा कॉन्टेक्स्ट रे कहबा को चाहिबे कि वॉइस ऑफ डिसेंट ओडिशा रे केमती प्लेस कोन रहिछि ओडिशा रे हाउ डू एनालाइज ओडिशा
I'll be very honest. I have spoken about this in the past. Last 5 years things were bad. Okay, particularly during the previous regime, it was terrible. You couldn't speak out. You'd have police in your premises if you speak out. This new regime, I would say that they are still yet to come to terms with, like they are still in a daze. Like semane janinanti je semane komatare asi jaichonti. So they are yet to exercise their power. But I guess we should be prepared that these people will also be possibly as vindictive as the previous government. Politicians, by and large, their nature is the same.
You do not have any hope that this regime will be better than previous regime?
If you look at Delhi, what's happening? You look at the rest of the country, what's happening? Freedom achiki. We are somewhere between India. Press freedom index, we are somewhere between Turkey and Russia. Okay, not as bad as Russia, not as good as possibly Turkey. So we are 160 out of 180 countries. So it's the same party. So
there is no hope.
We'll have to see. It's not a question of hope. We'll have to hold the line. We keep doing what we keep doing. Irrespective of loko kon kouchanti, gali douchanti, jail re puduchanti, apanku amaku amaro kamo koriba podibo. So we'll have to keep doing what we do.
Okay, amok. So is it possible, Mr. Rahul Dev, the journalist will do his work, there will be no hurdle from the government side. Don't you think it's an idealistic state? Government is there to interfere. And the government of the day is very much keen what the journalists are doing. So how can a journalist be independent?
Well, there are no absolutes in life. So there is no absolute freedom and there is no absolute right to freedom granted. But then the same rules apply to the government as well, right? Is every government or any government perfect? Absolutely perfect, beyond question. So we are all human beings. We are by nature fallible. What is our job? Right question is, what is the job of a journalist or of media? Our job is to question. whosoever is in power, whosoever has power of all kinds, and to question in order to find out if what he or she or they are doing, is it in national interest, in public interest or not. We go wrong very often. Everyone goes wrong. But there are some reasonable restrictions on freedom of expression according to our constitution. Accepted. But we have to judge and we have to find out whether there are, in the name of this reasonable restrictions, the restrictions being placed are reasonable or unreasonable. Do they protect some powers or some people? Wrongdoing? It is our job to bring out facts.
That's fine. But do you think that in the UPA regime, it was more comfortable to ask uncomfortable questions?
Yes.
But in the India regime, it's difficult to ask.
Absolutely. 100%. It was easier, much more easier. You could ask
Why it
tough
was
questions.
easier
Hold
and
on.
why it is difficult today?
It is difficult for some people who are afraid or who are forced by their circumstances, by their bosses.
So Congress people are more Democrat and these people are...
I mean, you should allow someone
Yes, yes.
to finish the sentence first. So what is the next question now? What did you ask?
So do you think that the Congress regime was more comfortable to ask uncomfortable questions? And Congress, the liberal mindset is more prone to good journalism, and the right-wing politics and the right-wing regime, it's very difficult to operate. That kind of feeling do you have?
Well, if you do want to divide people in wings, left wing and right wing, I'll have to answer the right wing is more prone to hide and suppress free expression. As we have seen now, there have been left-wing, leftist regimes across the world, in India as well, who have been as repressive and as draconian. So there is no one single rule by which, or yardstick by which you can judge everyone across history and across the world. Things change. Every situation has its own context. Every question and every answer has its own context. Maybe the regime that comes tomorrow will be worse. How do we know? We don't. What is our job? We are expected to do our job in the circumstances in which we live and work. We can't keep going back to the past. We can't keep living in the hope of a better future. So it is our job to make government and the powers uncomfortable. It is not our job to praise the government or the state. And there is an intrinsic, inherent conflict between state and media. A friendly media, a media that is friendly to a state, is no media.
Right.
I'm very clear on that.
ओडिशा रे मध्य आमे गोदी मीडिया और बिस्कुट मीडिया कथा होचु बहुत जोरे चर्चा होची. So Madam Bartika, my next question is, don't you think that we are asking this kind of question that the government's interference in the media and journalists are not getting ample freedom to operate? The narrative is, we are talking about the relationship between the government and opposition. Is not it an elitist perspective? Are we talking about the marginalized communities? Are we talking about the tribal voices? The discourse is between the opposition and government. The opposition says that the government is more oppressive. And the journalists, those who are in Delhi, they are creating this kind of narrative. But so many unheard voices. Are we fighting for that? They are not getting space. Radip is always speaking about, I heard about that, the flood in Assam. Also, Radip, I will add one point. The stories of Odisha that never find place in your media, in Delhi. तो आम पाई दिल्ली बहुत दूर ओडिशा रो को स्टोरी दिल्ली रे लागे मु जानी पारेनी ऑल द ब्यूरोज हैव बीन क्लोज्ड so it's elitist media talking about Modi Rahul Gandhi etc it's not talking about the tribal voices of Navrangpur Malkanagiri and the people in the far flung areas so do you think that the kind of dissent it from media talking from the elitist perspective
I would like to read out a small portion of poetry by Bhagwati Prasad Verma. He says, मैं जो हूँ मुझे वही करना चाहिए मैं जो हूँ मुझे वही करना चाहिए जो हूँ मुझे वही बनना चाहिए मगर मैं कब से ऐसा नहीं कर पाया हूँ जो हूँ वही होने से मैं डर रहा हूँ So, coming to your question, if we look at from the academic perspective, primarily there are three kinds of dissent. One is the articulated one, where there is a dissent which is constructive, which is also suggestive, which is looking at some sort of solutions and talking to the organization, person, political party directly. The other one is a latent dissent, wherein you raise your questions to those who are within that organization or within that periphery but can't do much beyond that. And third one is the displaced dissent, where people who are outside that ambit are listening to it, but they can't do anything. And that is the unfortunate part. So when you are saying mainstream media is not giving ample space to localized issues, the answer is very simple. All of us who are sitting here, we all have our mobile phones with us. We are all well connected to the entire world. There is no paucity of space. We publish the maximum number of newspapers as compared to any part of the world. We have maximum number of television channels. We also have a large number of radio stations. So which means there is ample space, ample money, and ample amount of people who are consuming media. Then why are localized issues not getting space? Odisha, year by year, whenever we remember of stories, the first story which generally comes to our mind is the Kalahandi story, if you remember that. For many, many years, that was there in your mind. The other one is the turtles hatching eggs every year in the month of March. That is where we get to see lots of positive human interest stories. But is Odisha only about this? Isn't Odisha about tribes, art, culture? Odisha is also about temples. We get to know stories, that too, on a perennial basis when it happens. Otherwise, again, it takes a back seat. तो ऐसा क्यों होता है? ये कहना बहुत अच्छा है कि हम नाराज़ हैं. ज़्यादातर लोग नाराज़ हैं. लेकिन हमारी नाराज़गी का स्पेस बहुत कम है. So when you were asking me that there are narratives, the point is, if you ask anybody, how much time do we spend in reading? We are all going through the reels, we are quickly making decisions, we are quickly trolling people, we are saying whatever we want to do because saying is free. Do you remember those years when mobile phone had just come? आपको याद होगा 11 रुपए की एक फ़ोन कॉल होती थी. 9 रुपए आउटगोइंग था, 11 रुपए, मुझे वो एनडीटीवी के दिनों की बात याद है. और फ़ोन कॉल बहुत महंगा था. जिन्होंने उस समय फ़ोन लिया था उन्हें ये भी याद होगा हम कैसे फ़ोन में बात करते थे. हम 30 सेकंड में अपनी बात कह लेते थे क्योंकि हमारे ऊपर क्या प्रेशर था कि पैसे लग रहे हैं. अब आप देखिए हम घंटों फ़ोन पे बात करते हैं लेकिन नतीजा कोई नहीं निकलता. वो घंटे क्यों हैं? आप एयरपोर्ट पे चले जाइए, मेट्रो स्टेशन पे चले जाइए, यू राइड अ बस, you go to any place of your choice, you will find people scrolling, but neither thinking nor reading. And this is what generally a policy maker would like to happen. You do not read kindly do not contemplate, because if you will contemplate, then you will ask right questions at the right time. The problem is we are asking wrong questions at a very wrong time.
Right. So जदि कहार किसी क्वेश्चन थाए आपण माने पचारि परिबे. माइक देवे मैडम. दयाकरी क्वेश्चन पचारिबे, केवल क्वेश्चन पचारिबे, स्पीच किछि देबेनी. जस्ट आस्क क्वेश्चंस क्विकली. एटोटे माइक नै जिवे कि हां हम छ. यस आप
ये मोर देन
दिस इज माय क्वेश्चन टू मिस्टर रूबेन बनर्जी. अभी यूट्यूब में आपका ज़्यादातर चल रहा है, एक्चुअली हम भी उसको थोड़ा सा फॉलोअप कर रहे हैं. किछि तो होउनी, योर टाइटल इज किछि तो होउनी.
तो क्वेश्चन कोन आपण करो? आपण भाबुचंती किछि होउची, रूबेन बनर्जी कहउचंती किछि होउनी ना कोन? व्हाट इज योर क्वेश्चन?
माय क्वेश्चन किछि तो होउनी माने को कॉन्टेक्स्ट रे आपण काहे किसी जिंसटा को
से कहउचंती सितरे आपण बुझी पाना.
I've explained all that in that episode, right? Like it's my perception that it's things are not moving in the state as it should have been, and eta ko constructive criticism hisab re neba kotha. Like and I would like to believe that the government takes it as a positive advice. Je kichi to hogi.
Okay. Next question quickly.
मेरा सवाल है राजदीप सर से. सर गुड आफ्टरनून सर. एडवोकेट मोनालिसा बोल रही हूँ.
माइक टा भलो करी धरंतु सो दैट आपण ऑडिबल हेबे.
सर मैं मोनालिसा बोल रही हूँ. सर मेरा सवाल है कि आप देश को बहुत अच्छे से देख रहे हैं और जितना आपका एक्सपीरियंस है, एक ही सवाल पूछना चाहती हूँ, आने वाले भारत कौन से चैलेंज का फेस करेगा? मैंने व्हाट एवर द चैलेंजेस द इंडिया विल फेस, काइंडली टेल सम पॉइंट जो आपकी नज़दीक से आप देख रहे हैं कि ये सब चैलेंजेस आएगा जो यूथ है उनके लिए बहुत भारी पड़ जाएगा, क्योंकि आपका जो नज़रिया है वो यूथ लोगों को बहुत एडमिट, मतलब हम लोग इंस्पायरेशन लेते हैं. बहुत सारे यूथ है. आई एम वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट फैन ऑफ योर्स सर. सो थैंक यू वेरी मच. यू आर नॉट ए इंडियंस, यू आर आइडियोलॉजी फॉर द यूथ. सो आपसे एक ही सवाल है कि आप कौन से चैलेंजेस देख रहे हैं जो भारत में अभी आएगा, जितने आप, that's the question.
So in addition to that, so what is the threat to credible journalism in India?
See, there are lots of questions. You raised a very good question. कि ओडिशा में देखिए नेशनल मीडिया ओडिशा को क्यों कवर नहीं करता है? नेशनल मीडिया नोएडा मीडिया बन गया है. ये मैं मानता हूँ आपकी बात बिल्कुल. ये सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत है कि जो नोएडा में होता है वो ब्रेकिंग न्यूज़ बनती है, जो दिल्ली में होता है, जो ओडिशा में होता है नहीं बनती ब्रेकिंग न्यूज़. ये बहुत बड़ी बात आपने कही एंड आई एग्री विथ यू 100%. सो देयर एंड आई हैव नो एक्सक्यूज. बट इन द एज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी मुझे लगता है वो बदलेगा, क्योंकि धीरे धीरे जैसी टेक्नोलॉजी एआई आएगा, आप उसी किसी भी स्टोरी को विद इन few minutes you can get it in your center. So it will be easy with technology to actually cover your issue of why there is a problem of distance places not getting adequate coverage, but it is a major issue. आपने मैडम एक अच्छा सवाल पूछा है, what is the major challenge? देखो, I am not a politician who can give भाषण as to what is the challenges, but I will say one thing. Whatever I see around me, the biggest challenge, मैडम, सबसे बड़ी जो challenge है, वो है बेरोजगारी. आप किस तरह से इतने बड़े देश में जहां इतने लोग, मोर देन 1 मिलियन लोग हर महीने मोर देन 1 मिलियन पीपल आर एंटरिंग जॉब मार्केट, आप उनको कैसे एम्प्लॉयबल और एम्प्लॉयमेंट दोगे? एक तो एम्प्लॉयबल करना पड़ेगा उनको, और दूसरा उसके साथ साथ एम्प्लॉयमेंट देनी पड़ेगी. ये मुझे लगता है इस देश के सामने सबसे गंभीर समस्या है जिस पर लोग बात नहीं करते. लोग हमारे देश में आज बात क्या करते हैं? जाति, धर्म, राष्ट्रवाद. अब आपका कैसा राष्ट्रवाद अगर आप लोगों को नौकरी नहीं दे पाओगे? अब ये क्या धर्म की राजनीति अगर उससे नौकरी नहीं दे पाओगे? ये सब आई कॉल इट वेपन्स ऑफ मास डिस्ट्रैक्शन. लोगों का ध्यान भटकाने के लिए आप भाषा का इस्तेमाल करते हो, जाति का इस्तेमाल करते हो, धर्म का इस्तेमाल करते हो. हमारे देश में आज वी डू नॉट हैव इवन 1 यूनिवर्सिटी इन द टॉप 100, नॉट इवन 1. चाइना हैज 12. China has 12 universities in the top 100. You do not have one. Lekin?
Yeah.
हाँ.
Please use mic.
Your question about why Odisha doesn't
So that is my answer to you, madam.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank
come
you very much.
introduce, get news as other states. Or Noida, I am completely agree with you. We all have that same complaint with ourselves because we have all been part of that Noida, Delhi media. Another reason why Odisha and several other states don't make news as much as some others do is the quality of leaders they have. Assam is a much smaller state than you,
Yes.
right? More challenging in several ways. Why is Assam more in news than Odisha?
So we need Hemant
Hold on,
Biswa
hold
Sarma.
on. Why is Gujarat not in as much news as Maharashtra? What I'm getting at is the kind of leader you have, a leader who says things and does things which make news, make splashing news, breaking news, and mostly it's negative. Uttarakhand is a even smaller state. The Uttarakhand is more in news than states 5 times its size. Why? Because the kind of things being done there, and most of, I'm sorry to say, Gujarat's being so important industrially and economically and in so many other ways, doesn't make news because the chief minister there and the leaders therefore, they are too docile to say things which will shock or which will go outside the line. Are you getting at what I'm saying? So, the more aggressive your leader is, the more in your face, blunt your leader is, and more divisive your leader is, that state and that leader makes more news.
So, Dada, would you like to?
Let me also just add before Dada comes in. Let us give a little bit more. I agree with Rahulji. Good news does not make news. Bad news, agar aap kuch controversial kare, it makes news. Let's give credit to Naveen Patnaik, for example, on issues like COVID management or women's empowerment. Odisha has done much better than many other states, but it does not get the credit because Naveen Babu did not have a PR machine in Delhi. Other leaders have a full-fledged, Naveen Patnaik made a lot of mistakes, I'm sure, but there are a lot of achievements.
But Dada doesn't agree with you.
No, I agree. Like, Naveen was, who can criticize Naveen? He was a leader of a very, very tall leader.
But he didn't have any PR message.
Oh,
Do
of
you
course
agree?
he had.
No, in Delhi.
He has. Even now they are distributing PR press notes.
In Delhi.
Yes. Very recently they did. And one by mistake came to me as well. So I got to know. But anyway, leave that apart. See, the problem that why Odisha doesn't get, because I also happen to work in Odisha as a state correspondent for many, many years. Gotte problem hoche je Odisha, one, Odisha re 21 Lok Sabha seat, Uttar Pradesh re 80 ta. See, that's a major decision. Maharashtra re 48, West Bengal re 42. Odisha accounts for only 21 parliamentary seats. So its importance has gone down politically. Two, if Rahul Dev, with lot of respect to him, if he is correct, then we had a leader like Biju Babu, 92-95, he was the chief minister. Was Odisha making news then? Nationally? No.
Odisha limelight re thila na?
No, I was here. Mu to setbale iti Indian Express re thili. No. So there is the problem is far more complex. One is I used to know, mu jetebale India Today re Bhubaneswar thili. More story kon hobo, hunger, deprivation, child sale, Kolahandi, Koraput story hobo. My editors will obviously say, "Yaar, ye story to bikega nahi. Ye story par ke to koi advertisement nahi dega." So we had a genuine.
So, madam, would you like to add your point? We will finish
My question
within
is,
2 minutes.
in this digital age, why do you need Delhi for everything? Why do you need your PROs in Delhi? Where are your students? Where are your journalism institutes? Where are your teachers? Where are the people who attend those programs? Here in this room, there are so many people sitting. How many of you will go back and take time out to tweet about it? We will not do that. We will do when there will be a star who will come on Sarkari Kharcha, make a lot of kharcha for that particular sarkar will perform, and then you will make reels out of it. Right? We will spend enormous amount of time and energy in disseminating information which is completely entertainment based. But the moment we see something which is constructive, positive, maybe honorary, public service, we will be mute as much as possible. So do not say everything has to come from Delhi. No.
Yeah.
Things have to start from the
So
local
we
level.
are running short of time, and I
Yes.
have been instructed.
Thank
not
you
to,
so much. This is
But
what happens when you have
You
five-
should have devoted 1 hour at least for this show.
Yes.
I think the constant of time, and I had many questions for Radip Satyasai, which remain unanswered.
Last 2-3 interesting questions we want to raise. And Dada and
So, Radip, my last question, since Madhubabu is requesting, so my question is, are you a Congress sympathizer?
See, you have asked me, am I...
Sorry for the question.
You see, again, I will give the same answer. I will tell you, in my book I wrote, I have a line. Rahul Gandhi has never missed an opportunity to miss an opportunity. Is that a line of a Congress sympathizer? After my second book, Congress said, we will boycott you because you have been very critical of us. How can you be so critical? I say, you have got 52 seats in 2019. How will I not be critical? How did you end up with 52 seats? Kya hai na, boss? Ki today everybody wants journalists to become PR agents. They don't want journalists to do journalism anymore. They want us to do PR. Congress wants us to do Wawahi of Congress. You will be surprised, one Congress chief minister rang me up the other day. You have to remove this particular journalist from this bureau. He is always attacking me. I said, sir, if that is what he is doing, he will definitely stay in the job. We will not remove him. Now, this is a problem we have. Every politician, you are also asking questions with public, because the public also, everybody is in their WhatsApp group. I am in a Rashtravadi WhatsApp group. Someone else is in a Congress WhatsApp group. Arey, ye WhatsApp chodo. Journalism is not WhatsApp. Vartika mentioned Reel. Everybody is doing now journalism on Reel. Arey, Reel viral ho gaya. Arey, what is this Reel which is going viral? So I think there is a large, in your question only there is a problem. Yeah. That somebody is Congress sympathizer, somebody is anti-Modi, somebody is a Bhakt. Arey, why should, this very question means that journalists are expected by people to play the role of the peer. If I say something you like, he is neutral. If I say something you don't like, arey wo biased hai.
Sir,
in
in my personal opinion, you are the most loved journalist of India. But I carried the perception of majority of people that since you are not in favor of right-wing politics, you don't like the Modi-like leader and you are a Congress sympathizer. That's a perception. No. That's a perception. That's not the question.
Manoranjan.
So my next question is,
yes,
since we are running short of time, between Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi, who is a better leader?
Very good question. I will give you an answer. Before that, I want to tell you, जर्नलिस्ट कोई पॉपुलैरिटी कॉन्टेस्ट के लिए हमने जर्नलिज्म नहीं की है कि आप इतने पॉपुलर बनोगे, इतने फॉलोअर बनोगे, उसके लिए जर्नलिज्म हमने किया बिकॉज वी वर पैशनेट अबाउट न्यूज. जर्नलिज्म इज नॉट बॉक्स ऑफिस. आई डोंट वांट टू बी शाहरुख खान एंड डू अ लुंगी डांस टू गेट पॉपुलैरिटी. नहीं करना है. वो भी मैंने टीवी पे किया है, बट फिर भी नहीं, उससे मुझे पॉपुलैरिटी नहीं चाहिए. नंबर 2, यू सेड हु इज द बेटर लीडर, राहुल गांधी और
Narendra Modi.
You want an honest answer?
Yes.
Honest answer?
Yes.
India deserves better than what we have at the moment. Both. Across the board. Whether it is Rahul Gandhi, Narendra Modi or many other leaders of this country. In a country of 1.4 billion people, I think India has far better leaders in civil society than we have in politics today. Some of the most inspirational leaders I meet are people who are really working among the people day after day, doing education projects, doing social projects. They are the real leaders of today. Not our politicians. Our politicians are behind civil society. I will not take names. So you have asked me a question, who is better? I am not going to answer. I will only say India deserves better. This is a great country with lots of talented people. The talented people sadly are not entering politics. The really talented people are not entering politics, and we should ask why. Why are the best people in India not entering politics? The best and the brightest people in Mahatma Gandhi's era, they used to give up their legal practice, they gave up everything to become politicians because they had an ideal for India. आज केवल वोट लो और चुनाव जीतो. That is the basis of all our politicians. That does not make great leaders.
बहुत गुटे मीनिंगफुल एंगेजमेंट हला राजीव सत्यसाई एवं
Now don't get me into trouble for that.
no, I suppose you are truly you are a Democrat. Actually, you allowed me to ask this question. You never got irritated. So that's why I am thankful to you. बहुत धन्यवाद देवी राजीव सत्यसाई, मैडम वर्तिका, दादा रुबेन बानार्जी एवं राहुल देव को जो माने आम सहित समय देले मु भाबुची एटा गोटे yes one sentence yes.
I just want to leave this audience with one fact. In the latest report on World Press Freedom Report by Reporters Without Frontier, it's French organization, publishing this report since 2002. In its latest report, India ranks 159 out of 180 countries.
In terms of press freedom. Press freedom
rankings.
Yes.
Our rank, latest rank of 2023 is 159 out of 180. This is an improvement on the previous report because two countries in the previous report
164?
Oh, I'm sorry, gentlemen.
we have
really
progressed from
running out of time.
161 to 159 because two countries in 1 year dropped, their ranking dropped drastically.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. My question is, what happens when you have 5 very senior and esteemed journalists on one panel? The question and answers keep going on. Thank you so much. We would now request Madhu Mohanty to please come and felicitate our senior journalists. Very interesting session. But unfortunately, we are running very short of time and we have another session lined up. Can we please have the mementos, please? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Rajdeep Sardesai. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Shri Ruben Banerjee. Thank you to our moderator. Vartika Nanda ji, thank you so much. And Rahul Dev ji, thank you. Thank you so much. Can we quickly arrange the seating, please? Ladies and gentlemen,